Hello and welcome to another riveting, excellent episode of Stacking Triggers, a drunken TCG, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying podcast. Dan, we are here. Oh, we are Magic and One Piece and Fortnite and everything. We got it. How you
Fortnite?
doing? I don't know. We do Fortnite, a Fortnite in anything.
Oh! I see what you're doing. I understand now.
Yeah. Literally, there were just a bunch of words up on my screen, and I just said them all together to try to do an intro. But today we're doing a lot very quickly. We've got
Yes.
our Magic and One Piece plays for the past 2 weeks. We got the MH3 cards we're looking forward to, and it would not be an episode without a One Piece cheaty McCheater.
It's true. This one's in paper though, or like this one's in person though. So like this one's crazy.
That's fantastic. Let's just dive right into it because we got a lot to do in a short amount of time. Because right now you're also co-hosting the live stream for the Cure,
Yes.
which is a charity fundraiser our buddy Nick puts on. I don't know if donations will still be open, but maybe they will.
You can still donate.
And if we'll do something. Maybe I'll make you do work and put a donation link in the links down below.
Yeah, sure.
Anyways, Dan, how is your Fortnite in One Piece Magics?
All right. In Magic, I played in 2 RCQs. I went 0-2 in both. I played Gruul aggro. Neither time did the deck feel really good. I will say, like, the second RCQ felt better. I was really close against a Phoenix player. It's just like with Phoenix, they like I had them down to 1 life, which again continues to be the bane of my existence. Except I had like 11 outs. Like it was
What?
a Ramanop Ruins, 3 copies of Kumino Faces Kakazan, 4 Play with Fires, and 3 Wizards Lightning. So it's just like I have so many outs here. Like there's just no way on this next draw I don't draw one of my I think at that point 11 remaining outs, and I draw a land that isn't Kumino Face, that isn't Ramanop Ruins. So
that's crazy.
Yeah. So I lose that game, and then the next one I play against Waste Not. I beat them in game 1. Game 2, they just like were able to get to all their discard pieces, and then game 3 they drop a Shieldred on curve, and it's just like,
oh, that's the best though.
Yeah. I mean, for you,
when
yes,
you get
but
that.
So I dropped that one. The one previously, the deck just felt like complete garbage, and I missed direct damage, so I tried to go with Wizard's Lightning. It never really came up in the second RCQ, but that's what it is. But yeah, I'm off Gruul. I'm just going to be on either mono red or mono white. I hate the land bases so much in Pioneer, just so fucking much, man.
Yeah, they're not fantastic.
Yeah, so I think just sticking to a monocolor deck at this point would be beneficial for my mental health. Otherwise, I'm going to be stuck playing multicolored decks where I'm just like, this is just dreadful, and only play multicolored decks in formats with fetch lands.
Well, but the thing is too, like even the Phoenix deck, right? Like I think they've pretty much gone down to just like your main spells are really just blue cards. Like,
yep,
that's all you're doing. If you always go and get a red if you have a red to get, to be able to like lightning axe something, but that's like you have to wait for your opponent to play something in order to do your red stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Or just hard cast your Phoenix.
Yeah. And then One Piece, I am prepping for the regional I have next weekend, and I have been playing Sakazuki, and I went 3-0 at locals. It was good. I feel like I could have played a little bit better in all of the games. There were a couple plays I left on the board. Actually, game 1 I felt like was pretty clean. My opponent is like one of the people who works there, and he kind of talks me a little bit, but it's like in good nature. And he's just like he has me in what he thinks is like a very precarious position, and he's just like, so how you feeling right now? I'm like, I feel great, because I had like the answer to that exact precarious situation. I'm just like, I feel great. I have no idea what you're talking about, and I proceeded to win the game. You know, uh, game two, I played against somebody who plays like they kind of high rolled a little bit with all their cards. It's not a very strong deck, but like if the cards line up, the cards can be good. And
Yeah.
in game three, I played the Black Yellow Luffy matchup, which that's supposed to be a very good matchup for me, and it was. Except like
They can come
despite
out of nowhere. Yeah.
despite really hitting them like in bottom decking all their shit, the games lasted too long. Really, so like it was one of the like they had I think double Gecko Moria, and then were able to raise them. Like somehow still had like enough 5 cost characters to put into life to pump their leader to like 7 and 9K, and I'm like, ugh, brother, ugh.
I'm glad you
You
did
know,
that.
so like it should like based off of the way I was just bottom decking every one of their 5 cost characters, the game should not have been as difficult as it was. But it just like they just happened to get like these sick draws off of everything. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
And
that deck doesn't do any search at all. The only thing you get is like, look at the top 5, put
I mean
something
that's
in
the
the
search.
hand.
Like there's no card in One Piece that says search your deck for. Actually, that's not true.
I was
There's
gonna say, I'm pretty sure I played against stuff that says search for an
Yeah,
X
there's
creature
an Enel
cost.
card that lets you specifically pick up a 7 cost Enel character. Like, and that's really about it. There's not much else. Like, there's randoms here and there stuff, but like typically it's to find a specific character and it has
Right.
to be in your deck.
Yep.
So yeah, I still need more practice. I haven't played in a little bit. There's supposed to be a locals tomorrow that I'd like to hit, but we'll see if people like. Because I was telling people about it on Tuesday, and they're like, "Oh, I didn't even know there was a thing." It's like, "Yep." So I'm not expecting that to be well attended because they didn't really promote it.
Ripperoni pepperoni.
What about you?
Last week I did a whole lot of nothing because it was Memorial Day weekend, starting on the Thursday, pretty much for me, which is my normal modern night. So didn't do anything last week. Didn't play One Piece.
Right.
Probably won't be playing One Piece because I get one night. But this Thursday I did Modern and I did Red Black Scam. Got there like right at 6:30, still having to sleeve like 10 cards in the deck, and like just being that guy, not
Yeah.
having the full sideboard. I had like maybe 4 cards, 2 of which were surgical extractions. I mean, not a terrible card for the deck I was running, which was Rakdos Scam.
Right.
I don't know if I said that.
You did.
I did. Cool. But yeah, ended up going 2-1. I beat my own deck, my own Teamer Prowess deck, because somebody was there, hasn't bought into Modern, because when he first tried to buy into Modern, MH2, the Fury bans were about to be announced. And so he didn't want to
Like I'm done with this.
no, no,
Blizzard
no,
just
no, no,
bans my cards.
no. He didn't have the cards. He just didn't know where the meta was going. Something came up, and he had to use the money for something else.
Uh, it was
And
clearly
then
going in Yawgmoth's favor. What is he talking about?
well, I don't know. I don't know. He hasn't bought into Modern, and then he started wanting to play again. And the place where you and I did the RCQ, they don't do like a consistent Modern night anymore. Their
Ew.
Modern night is their what was their Modern night is the rotating RCQ format.
I mean, okay, I get that.
I understand that. That to me, that's okay. You should still give your Modern players like a consistent place to
Yeah,
play Modern, but
yeah. If that's the most popular format in the area or in general, and yeah, modern seems to be the most popular format in general. Look at your RCQ. Like compare your RCQ
oh
attendances
yeah, yeah.
by format.
Yeah. But yeah, so anyway, so he's coming, this guy works retail, so he's gonna be unpredictable, but like I told him I will always have a spare deck on hand for him if he wants to play. So I beat that one. I also beat Tron. Or no, not Tron. Titan. It was Titan.
Nice.
Yeah, turn one grief scam happened
Yep,
twice.
that'll do it.
Yeah, round one just took his amulet and something else that was important. Game two, on that turn one grief scam, took his dismember and something else that was a hate piece. And I was like, okay. And then I lost to a Mardu pile. Like I don't know how to explain the pile other than it was seasoned pyromancers and uh 2 power white card that had protection from green and black.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't
Because it's
know.
not like Sanctifier and Vac or
It's not
like
Invec, but it's like it's of that
yeah, it's
nature.
of that ilk.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know. Like she makes stuff up. She runs Boyle in the sideboard. It's whatever. It's
Okay.
specifically for blue players because she hates blue players. So
Wait, Boyle is modern legal?
yeah,
Why? Why are
Boyle.
we printing a blue moon effect in modern if Boyle is legal?
Because Boyle is 4 mana, but it is instant speed though.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Don't ask me the questions. I don't make the rules.
Okay.
But
In
yeah,
your
and it ended up taking third. Because breakers.
yeah.
Like we had really bad breakers this week, especially because like one of the guys that lost twice like dropped before the third game.
I don't blame him. But yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it sucks.
yeah, it sucked, but it is what it is. Next week though, on Sunday, I am doing my store's Pioneer RCQ, running Waste Not again. Gonna see kind of how that goes.
Yeah. I'll be interested to see what your meta looks like. Because my meta looks like it's heavy Phoenix.
Yeah,
And
I only played one Phoenix guy, and you played the same Phoenix guy.
yeah, but I mean like my RCQs are heavy Phoenix. Like the ones down
Oh,
here
yeah,
are
I'm in.
heavy Phoenix.
Yeah, I just hope it's
Heavy
not
red and
like.
black meta down here, which is wild.
Is it a lot of
Mono
uh
red, Gruul, Phoenix, Rakdos Vampires,
okay,
a
that's what
little
you
bit of
want
Lotus
there.
Field, like a little bit of Amalia. Um, what? Like 2 Waste Not players. I'm trying to think what else I've seen. But yeah, I've predominantly seen Phoenix just running around.
Waste Not players, best players.
Mm.
Anyways, do you know who ended up winning your 2 RCQs? Like
No,
what
I didn't care.
decks?
I,
Okay,
I I didn't care enough, and nobody really says anything. Like stores. I really do feel like stores need to like on their socials just be like, "Hey, here's the winner of the RCQ."
something. Yeah, like hey, here's the top 8. Like they don't have to post the deck list, but just post the archetype. Like, please.
Yeah,
Anyways, yep, that was it. That was my Fortnite Magic and a little bit of preview into my next Fortnite. Um, let's get into the Cheaty McCheaters.
yeah. All right, so this is for the OPO8 format over in I want to say this is in Singapore or it's Japan. They held 2 big OPO8 tournaments this weekend, and one of the player is playing Red Purple Law, and on his turn he plays a 5 cost card called Miss All Sunday. Importantly, this character does not have Rush, so
Oh,
he plays Miss All Sunday, ramps a Dawn because that's what she says to do, and then he swings with her immediately, even though doesn't
immediately.
have Rush. That's not
Yeah.
caught immediately, and actually does materially affect the game. And then on his opponent's turn, his opponent swings into him, and he discards 2 Rush Zoro, which have no counter, for 2K counter each. So the joke going around on Twitter was, "Hey, anybody got 4 copies of Rush Miss All Sunday and 2K 4 copies of 2K Zoros?" Yeah, that was
2K
something.
Zeros.
It got dealt with, but like, man, you see that on camera, and you're just like, and they're like, it's in person, you know,
Hmm.
which again just goes to show, man. Everyone's saying, "Hey, this only happens in online events." No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. How much of it, like, do you think it's intentionally cheating or just people like just misplay?
There's just no way you're discarding Zoro thinking you're going to get away with people thinking it's a 2K.
I see. Okay,
There's just not a way. Like
got it.
the All Sunday, I could at least understand somewhat, but like the pitching Zoros for a 2K counter, that's where I draw the line.
That was kind of the giveaway.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, I could definitely see that. Yeah, because I know, like when I was playing um at that locals we went to, it was with the amount of stuff with the black yellow deck, it was hard to keep track maybe
yeah, especially if you're a new
of
player.
yeah.
I definitely like regret being like, "Hey, this is the deck you should play," when it's like one of the harder combo decks to play.
I love it though.
Oh yeah. It's just like that's not like I should not have
That's not
taught
the
you on that.
that's not the game. Yeah.
Yeah, you're playing a different game than everybody else has learned, and that was not correct.
Yeah. It is what it is. People shouldn't learn magic on Commander, but they do.
Oh, that's true.
Heyo, shots fired. Anyways, anything else, Dan? With
No,
the Cheaty McCheaters.
no. I'm trying to remember. No, that's the only one, and it just popped up like last night because, like I said, the turns for OP08 just got released in Japan, and so
Hmm.
Japan, like over in the East, so like everywhere in the OP08 format. It was interesting because we're like looking at deck lists and being like, what's everyone looking at early on?
Okay. Sorry, I'm making a weird face because I'm looking through MH3 cards,
Yeah.
and there's something called ripple foils. I don't know what
What?
a ripple. I don't know what a ripple foil is, but none of the ripple foils are rare or mythic. They're all common or uncommon or basic lands.
Interesting. I'm on Mythic spoiler, so I haven't looked at any treatments.
Oh, I'm on the Scryfall page, and they
I
just have
guess I
like a
could
set.
do that.
Yeah, I like the Scryfall page because it's the Scryfall page. It is what it is. Uh, how many do we want to do, Dan? I have like a handful.
Yeah, I think about 5 is good.
5 each or
Yeah,
5
5
total.
each.
Sure. If you don't mind, I'd like to go first.
Absolutely.
I think one of my favorites, and it's just for my store meta. And so it's like, and I think it's going to see competitive play as a sideboard card as well. Meltdown. That's probably one of my favorites.
Um,
Uh,
eh,
yeah,
you can talk about it. I'm unsold on Meltdown currently.
that's fine. You can be unsold. Meltdown X and a red. It is a reprint, last printed in Urza's Saga, I believe. Yeah, Urza's Saga. Destroy each artifact with mana value X or less. It's a sorcery. The reason I like this for my local meta is because there's one guy that runs a food combo deck where he's just making constructs and food tokens like out the ass, and this will just make it a lot easier to deal with him.
Yeah, I think that's the only case where that's applicable.
Yeah.
Um, because you just pay a red into it and pop everything, as opposed to 3 mana for Brotherhood's End. Uh, I think once you start getting up into, oh, I want to bring in Meltdown for the Amulet matchup, that's where I think you're just like veering into probably just using Brotherhood's End over it.
I'll say this about that argument. If you're trying to bring it in for the amulet matchup, you are 1 mana ahead on it.
That is true.
So if you are on the draw, it is more beneficial for you to play Meltdown than it is to play the other one, right? Because I think on turn 3 is when they can actually get a Titan out if they have 2 amulets. I think that's when it is. I think it's turn
They
3.
can get it out on turn 2 if they have double amulet, Grazer Titan, bounce land, and regular land.
Got it. That's a lot of stuff to have.
Yes, but like it's also
Yeah.
Titan where they do just have
They
it
just
all the time.
they do just have it a lot. If they don't have the Grazer, it's probably turn 3 then.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So like maybe. I don't think it's great because it is sorcery speed. Again, I love it for my local meta. I love it because it's like it's a staple in Legacy. So this should drive the cost out. I mean, it's $5 now. It's not like backbreaking,
Right.
but it would be nice to have it cheaper than that for what it is. That's my first one.
Well, okay. So for me, sorry, as I'm looking at the retro frame treatments. All right. So for me, I want to start with Kappa Cannoneer. I mean, I've been talking about this basically since like it was first spoiled that Kappa Cannoneer is coming to modern. I think
Yep.
this increases the viability of affinity. It generally is going to make the Cheerios style a little bit better. You're probably going to see, I don't know, probably not Urz's Bobble. Urz's Bobble is not legal. Mishra's Bobble in that deck now, just to give you additional ways to get to Cap Cannoneer earlier. I think, of course, the big downfall is that no seed of the Synod or any of the untapped artifact lands. I
Excluding Dark
I
Citadel.
don't want to call Affinity tier 0 or tier 1. I think it's solidly going to be a tier 2 deck now. Um, but I think it's a lot better because it actually has more threats. Meltdown doesn't hit this easily, at least. And it has Ward 4. So even if you are playing against a Murktide opponent who goes, okay, Unholy Heat, you're like, all right, 4 more mana, please.
Yeah.
And now I'll pop
Yep.
my Relic of Progenitus.
Yeah. Yeah. The I don't know. I don't think they put enough in the format to really help Affinity too much.
It's that, and then there's I know people are kind of dismissing it, but like the Frogmere Enforcer, I kind of like that, like as a 2 of over the Frogmite slot, because like I talked about it you, but like Spire of Industry, you're able to play that for its prototype cost, which is still somewhat relevant, especially if you need like a way to start. You know, if you're trying to get to like a Thoughtcast or Thought Monitor quickly,
Yeah.
that's a cheap way to do it.
If not, it's just another Mirror Enforcer then later because it's
Yeah,
like it's
yeah,
literally it's the same freaking stat
yeah. It's
lines
the exact same stat
except
line.
for the prototype cost.
Yeah, that which is why I think it just goes in over Frogmite, because now you just have like the opportunity to run 12 4/4s. But like
Uh,
you're not running 12 4/4s. You're probably going to run a max of 8.
so I think with it being costing a red though, I don't know how because Frog might if you have 4 artifacts, it's free, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so if you have 4 artifacts out on the field already, this is just like ugh, I have to actually pay one. I can't
Yeah.
like
I don't
yeah.
think it's amazing. I just think like it gives you like it can either help you extend combos or can be a finisher to the combo of just like swarming the board and being like, good luck, opponent.
Hmm. Yeah.
right, sorry, I doubled up there. What about
No,
you?
that's fine.
Next card.
That's fine. Oh man. So as a new scam player, Phyrexian Arena's looking pretty fun.
Tower.
Tower, not arena, yeah. Because say you don't have that scam in hand, but you have a Dothy Voidwalker, a black card you want to pitch, the Phyrexian Tower, and your Grief. You could scam them, or like you could rip something from their hand before your evoke trigger, sack that creature to add 2 black mana, and then
Yep.
cast your Dothy turn 1.
Which is good. Like that, like a 3/2
That's
body
that's
with evasion. Good.
on turn 1. Yeah. Granted, that empties your fucking hand. But I don't know. I can see other things coming in with this too, right? Like, what's the black landfall creature? Landfall, bring it back from the graveyard.
Bloodghast.
Bloodghast. I can see this being a like just fantastic ramp for with
Yeah.
Bloodghast.
This is also probably gonna be a one of in Yawgmoth for Young Wolf shenanigans, or like, hey, I just need mana. Like I don't have Yawgmoth and I need mana to do stuff, so I'm
Let
just
me
going to
sack
like,
this insect token.
yeah, let me sack this insect token. Let me sacrifice this young wolf with no with a counter or with no counters on it already, so I can get back a 2/2. Potentially Strangleroot Geist can make it back into the deck. I don't think so because I don't know how good Strangleroot Geist is, but you know,
Yeah, yeah. I really like. I didn't see the full border Phyrexian Tower art, and I really like it.
there's also the Castle Dracula one from the Secret Lairs that I sold for like $60.
I didn't know there was a secret layer one.
Yeah, I specifically got it because of that Secret Lair.
Nice. But yeah, that's my number 2, Dan. What's your number 2? I'm not going to count the Frogmite one because it was
Yeah, yeah. The frog mirror enforcer was
eh,
just kind of like, hey,
it's
this
fine.
is another thing that
Yeah.
potentially goes in Affinity.
Yep.
Speaking of other things that go in Affinity, we have Vexing Bauble. Um, this is an Urza Saga target. It's 1 mana artifact. Whenever a player casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it, counter that spell. And then pay 1, tap, and sacrifice Vexing Bauble, draw a card. So this is your anti-cascade card for 1 mana, which is kind of crazy. Your anti-elementals card. And by that I mean evoke elementals. This is your anti-flares card. This is your anti-force card. I think I don't know how many of the flares are all that playable. I definitely think that Flare of Denial is going to be played for sure, just because of like in Merfolk specifically. But like
Yeah.
the elementals will continue to see play for the rest of time because they evoke and are a body if
Yep.
you scam them.
Yep.
So this hits that. If Cascade breaks again, if Violent Outburst comes back, this fixes that.
I
You know,
don't think they're going to bring that back.
I don't think that I don't think they should bring Violent Outburst back. I think Violent Outburst was always a problem. It's just it took them forever to finally do something about it. But still, um,
Yeah.
this is a neat card. I think it's a little late just because of the Violent Outburst ban, but I still think whenever something else breaks Cascade, this will still be an excellent card to have, at least in potential sideboard slots. I can also see this in like the Tron slots in the
Yeah.
sideboard as a one of, because it used to be true that rhinos like would prey upon Tron, and this would be like a great like, okay, oh, I got Tron on turn 3. Karn, get this. All right, now you can't like do your shenanigans to me on
Yeah.
on your turn or my turn.
Yep. Yeah. So that's you're talking about Vaccine Bobble, I don't know. The fact that it's 1 mana is really cool, but Like Meltdown kills it instantly.
I mean, if you have mana up, you can just sack to draw with it. Like
That's
it
true.
has
Yeah,
upside too. That's the thing.
it does. It does have upside. Yeah, you can sack to draw. I'm just trying to think, like, because as soon as somebody sees that vexing bauble, okay, like if you're playing against a scam player, that's like one of the first things they rip from your hand
Yep.
if they can.
Well, no, that's not true. If they're doing the grief scam on your turn 0, and they see this, well, they're just like,
Well,
okay,
I've already done the thing. Never
yeah,
mind.
I've already
Like,
done
I'm
the
not gonna
thing.
worry
Who
about it.
cares?
Yeah, yeah. Like, yeah, like I don't know. Like, I don't think it impacts grief as much as I think people are thinking.
Yeah, I think this more impacts solitude than anything,
Very much solitude and subtlety
and endurance.
and endurance. Yeah.
This I would say also this would be better if Fury was unbanned, because you could play
Oh
like,
my god. Yeah. Yeah.
because like a problem that you could have would be like, you have like a couple Ursa, like a couple of Karnstrucks, and you go, okay, well, here's some Karnstrucks, uh and now, oh, they just Fury scammed me to blow up my Karnstrucks. Oh, or like
Yeah.
you have like Asmo on the battlefield, and
Fucking
you get this
Asmo.
instead, and it's just like, well, now you can't like Fury scam my Asmo. Like, you have to play a fair
Deal
game.
with the thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, I think it's good. I don't think it's going to be as good as people are thinking.
yeah. Again, the worst that happens is this is a sideboard
Because it's
card for.
because it's a cast, right? It's a as
Yes,
you
it's cast.
cast, like, yeah.
So, like, the worst that happens is this is a sideboard card for Urza Saga decks. You know,
Creativity puts things into play, right?
creativity puts.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, notably, this hits pitch cast Force of Vigor, so they
Oh
can't Force of
no.
Vigor this card for its pitch cost. They have to actually hard
Hey,
cast Force of Vigor.
yeah. Ripperoni pepperoni. Give me the raviolis. Let's see here. I'm trying to think of anything else to say about Vexing Bubble other than, like, I've just thought about it constantly, and it's like, yeah, like it's going to impact the elementals that are good late game, but not the scammies.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like one of the better, like, against, like, if Omnath comes back, like 4-color Omnath comes back, it's like the best Urza Saga target for them.
Yeah. That is true. Let's see here. Number 3 for me. Uh, hmm. Yeah, number 3. That's a tough one. Can it be a promo?
Maybe.
Can can it be the promo Flusterstorm?
No, no,
No.
I'm not allowing that.
Okay, because I think that art is fucking sick, and I want that so bad. I
Oh,
don't know
I
if this
agree
is
with
like
you.
the I don't know if this is the buy a box promo or what.
I believe it is, actually.
That's hilarious because I would love then to buy 3 of the, or like a playset.
Yeah, they're gonna be cheap.
I hope so, because, like, that's way better than the current art. All right. I think then my next one has to be Power Balance because I think it's hilarious. Power Balance, red enchantment. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, you may reveal the top card of your library. If you do, you may cast that card without paying its mana cost if the 2 spells have the same mana value. It's the opposite of Counterbalance, which is also modern playable. So you could have an is it balance deck, which would be really funny.
Yeah, you see Counterbalance mostly with like Brainstorm. So, like, they gave us Brain Surge in this,
Yeah.
which I
Yep.
think is pathetically terrible. Sorry, everybody who thinks that drawing 4 cards in a Bowmasters format is good for 3 mana.
Yeah, I think this is a terrible. I agree with you. Yes, that is a terrible card, especially when like we have preordain. You look at 3 and draw, or look at 2 and draw. Sorry, like no, preordain is infinitely better than this card.
Yes.
Yeah, but power balance is really funny because I think it would be great to put into burn. Just, I think it would be a good card to put into burn.
No.
Maybe as a 2 of in the sideboard. Just whenever you go against like a Murktide deck that's digging, you will most likely, again, the if statements, but Dan, you're always playing what, 1 cost spells. Burn always has 1 cost burn spells. It's a
Yeah,
good
until you
one.
reveal that skewer the critics off the top, and you're like, well, shit.
Well, shit. Guess I'll just hit you and then burn you. But also skewer the critics, so who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I like it. It's going in burn. I'm going to play it in burn.
That's
It'll work.
fine. That's always allowed.
Yeah.
I can't wait for you to spend your turn 2 going like counterbalance, like, oh, cool, I'm not dead. Great. Turn 3 Murktide? Response?
Turn 3 Murktide. Oh, listen
Do
to
you have
you.
something for 7 mana in your deck? You don't? Oh, that sucks.
7 mana each. Both players lose the game. Anyways, go ahead. Go with your number 3.
All right. I'm skeptical on the playability of this card. I think the card is good, but it is invert polarity, blue, red, instant. Choose target spell, then flip a coin. If you win the flip, gain control of that spell, and you may choose new targets for it. If you lose the flip, counter that spell. So this is a cancel with massive, massive upside. You
Hold
know,
on. I'm looking for it just so I can actually see it.
yeah. So it it's a cancel with massive upside, where like at
Yeah.
worst you counter a spell, but at best, if your opponent plays like Titan and you go, okay, I'm gonna invert polarity, win flip on your Titan. Well, now you get to add 2 lands to the battlefield, and you have a 6/6 trampler. And also technically has pseudo haste because they cast it on their turn. So now you have a 6/6 trampler with haste that gets you 2 more lands. You are generally saving this for like win cons. You're like uh against an Eldrazi cast. Yeah, like they get their cast trigger, but who cares? You get an Eldrazi.
Yeah. That's funny.
So like
I like this.
I like it. I'm going to try it.
It is pre-ordering for $15.
Yeah, it's going to be good. The thing is like people are going to get hard tilted off of this whenever they lose a flip. Like, cause like there's times where like someone's going to go like, oh, Cavern of Souls on Eldrazi, and you're like, I have to win this flip to win the game. If I don't win this flip, I'm
Yeah.
going to lose on the spot.
Yeah, cause oh my gosh, yeah, because game control versus counter is a lot different. Oh
It's
my
massive. It's
god.
such a huge difference. So like
Yeah.
I think it's fun for the mana restriction. I think the mana cost I think is going to be the biggest issue with it.
Yeah.
Is like,
Yep.
can you in Murktide afford to hold up 3 mana for a counter spell? I don't think so. I've seen people say, "Hey, let's move to the Wizards version where you're running Snappy and Tashana's and another card I'm going to talk about here with Flame of Anor, and you're running more of a hard control deck, and maybe you can play like 1 or 2 Murktides." I understand that list. I don't like it as much because it doesn't fit my style of tapping
I
all of
don't
my
like
mana for all of their value every turn.
Yeah, I don't like the Wizards play style.
But I definitely see it in that build. I also see people like, I want to play Flare of Denial in the Wizards build because I can go snap Flare Denial, and I'm like, why would you want to do that? Why would you ever
Yeah,
want to do that?
why would you want to take away one of your only threats?
Yeah, like you can do Flare of Denial is good in certain decks. I don't think it's good in the deck that has like maybe 8 creatures. You
No,
know?
yeah. You Oh my god, you went in a fucking Tolerant deck.
Yeah. Well, yeah, in Commander, sure. You're not running Talrand in fucking actually modern.
Listen here. They print Tolerant so much
They do.
that you have
Is
to
he
run it.
actually modern legal?
I I have to look now. Where are you, you stupid? Oh, that's Tolarian. I don't want Tolarian.
Talrand is modern legal. So there you go.
What's his casting cost? 4?
I think it's 3.
Okay.
3? Oh, it is 4. Holy shit! Yeah, he's completely unplayed. He's 4 mana for
He's
a 2/2.
he's
Uh,
terrible.
4 mana dies to bolt. That's awful.
4 mana dice to Bolt.
That's atrocious.
He's awful, man.
Fun in
But
Commander, but
yet,
like, yeah, terrible.
no, he's not even fun in Commander.
If you're able to protect Talrand, and I know but like you're in blue, so you're gonna be able to protect Talrand for a little bit. God damn, are you just like pumping out Drakes or
Yeah, but who
birds or whatever he
cares?
does?
Yeah, like one Psych Rift and well, there went all that hard work.
That's true. All right, what about you? What's your next card?
Oh, what's this? We're up to number 4.
Yes.
Yeah, I am. Uh, Lightning Helix on a stick. Flag the Titan of Fire's Fury. This looks fucking fun, dude.
I think this card's legitimately good and belongs
I
immediately in burn. Like as a one of in burn.
it's Yeah, man. This is I think an excellent finisher in burn because
Yeah.
it's fucking 6 mana for it still dies to push, but who fucking cares?
Well, the
Like,
thing the thing is, and this should kind of be talked about a lot with the Titans. I know Uro is like a legacy staple, and then you have like
oh yeah,
Croxa in Scam, which is generally like,
hit and miss now on the list, but yeah,
yeah, I still think Croxa's correct, and the reason why Croxa I think is correct, and why also this card, what's his name,
Flag. I think
Flag, why I think it is also
PHLAG.
correct is because Burn and Scam run out of shit to do like so quickly, and
Yeah,
you just need something to do sometimes. Like there's times where in Burn you have like 5 mana and you're just like top decking. You're like, I just threw another fucking land, and
yeah,
if you have
yeah,
Flake
man,
or
yeah.
if you have Lightning Helix on a body in your graveyard already, well, there you
when
go.
he fucking swings, dude, 9 damage to face if they cannot block it.
Yeah. Or because remember, it's an attack trigger, it clears the
Yeah,
blocker and then deals
out of
6
the
to your
way.
opponent.
Yeah, and you gain 3 life.
And you gain 3 life. I think this is a great one of to go and burn.
Yeah, that's why it was higher up on my list because I think it's hilarious and great. It's gonna be good.
Yeah. I
It's
didn't put
also
mine in any particular order, but that's fine.
I was kind of doing like
Yeah,
my shit stuff
I figured,
first.
but yeah,
Yeah.
that card is just good.
Yeah, I
Again,
love
one
this.
of.
I love this card so much. Um, I would maybe even venture a 2 of.
I think that's when you look into that, like you start getting into that brickiness with it. I think one of is probably correct. I can only see 2 of if you were running something like Fable, but you're not going to run Fable because
As
it's
one to
burn.
discard it. I could see that. Yeah. Yeah. Either way, I love the card. I think it's going to be great. Pre-sailing for $30. The alt art of it, I think, is fantastic. Um, It's that kind of the Commander Masters thing they just did recently, where it's like the side portrait view.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that looks really cool. Anyways, your number 4, Daniel.
So my next card is uh Tamio's Inquisitive Student. So this has people on some kind of wizard build where you run this Snappy Tashana's as like a significant value engine, and then you have Flame Venors, Considers, Preordains, and you basically are just like running at instant speed outside of turn one. Because like you drop this or Preordain on turn one, and you're just like, all right, have fun, opponent. Then you flip it and you get some value out of it. I think it's interesting. I think the +2 is generally pretty bad and doesn't do anything. The big thing this card does is it blanks Ragavan, it blanks Orcish Bowman, or doesn't get KO'd immediately by Orcish Bowmasters. It doesn't get KO'd by Renin 6. So like, I'm intrigued by it. I think the attack trigger sucks. I think it's hard to flip. But I'm just generally intrigued by it more than anything. I'm sure somebody will find a way to make this card broken with, they'll go Flame Venor and flip it and then, you know, do some stupid
But
shenanigans.
this is dumb. Yeah, this is like this looks in. This is very interesting because it's like you attack, but you do no damage, but make a fucking clue.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck?
Yeah, I know they can't be like, hey, whenever this card attacks, draw a card. It's like, oh god, what are you doing? Like they have to balance, because like you can't, like, even if there's a 0/3 draw card, you're attacking
Yeah,
with it every turn.
right.
Like this
But
is
you have
an
to draw
immediate
3.
include in every fucking deck that plays
You have to
blue.
draw 3 to flip it.
Like just 1 mana, draw a card every turn if you want to. That's strong, man.
You could flip it turn 3.
You can flip it turn 2. You draw 3 cards, so
Uh
you draw for turn.
oh, okay.
Preordain,
I see how you
consider,
do.
or preordain, or consider, or opt. Any of that stuff.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, is there a way to do it faster?
Uh,
Probably
no.
not. Yeah, because like, would this be an argument to run the baubles?
No, you're already running Mishra's Bobble. Like, I think you're already probably running Mishra's Bobble in the list. Well, I think you're especially running Mishra's Bobble. Although I think the list is really like the wizard shell I was talking about, which is what I think this goes in. Like, because I know people are like, I want to try this in Murktide, and it's like, no, Ragavan is just way
No,
better
no.
than this in
This is
Murktide.
terrible in Murktide. Yeah,
Yeah, because like this offers you exactly 0 tempo. Like Ragavan is, this must be killed on site immediately, and then that clears the way for your DRCs, which eventually do more work over the game to
yeah,
exist.
yeah. I agree with you.
But yeah, I'm intrigued by this card in the Wizards deck. I think it's going to be good. It's just
Yeah.
like, how relevant is going, eight cantrip draw spell into transforming this?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, because like if you look at her backside, it's the +2 is until your next turn, whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control gets a -1, -0. So like it kind of protects itself, but like it starts at 2 loyalty, and you need what, 3 pluses with this to even get to the ultimate? Like,
Dan, I'm just so focused on your statement of if you look at her backside.
oh man, that's just you. Uh, return target instant, like the -3, return target instant or sorcery from your graveyard to your hand. If it's a green card, add 1 mana of any color. Like that, I've seen people be like, "Oh, you combo that with Abundant Harvest," and it's like, that's cool, but also you have to plus with it first, and then you can do that, and that's just not good enough, man. Like, to me, the backside has to be, it had to be -2. it had to be -2. Like to get like
Yeah.
actual good value out of this. Again, I'm intrigued by this card. I don't think it's that good, uh, but I'm sure someone's going to find a way to make this card insane.
Yeah, I see potential there. I do not. Yeah, that -3. Like, what do you do with a like? Why would Wizards run green at all?
Because there's a raw planeswalker, so they didn't want this to be Is it? They wanted this to be Simic. They wanted this to
No,
be an
I
ally
no,
card.
I understand that. I'm just like in like to get that one green, that one mana of any color. If it's a green card,
I don't know, just because.
yeah, it seems weird.
But like the
Like,
ultimate's great. Draw
yeah.
cards equal to half the number of your cards in your library rounded down, and you get no maximum hand size. Boy, that sounds really strong. But it's just like, how
Wow, let me
feasible is
just
that?
do everything in the deck now.
Yeah, to me, but to me, that's not feasible. That's just not a feasible ultimate that you're ever
No,
going to hit.
seems like a fun commander card.
Oh yeah. What about you? Next card.
Number 5, the final one, huh? Uh, yeah, I think I have to go with where is it? Where is it? Shifting Woodland. It's a
Oh
land.
yeah.
It's a land. It enters the battlefield tapped unless you control forest. So it's like the castle. Um, it, but it's got delirium, 2 green green. Shifting Woodland becomes a copy of target permanent card in your graveyard until the end of turn. Activate only if there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard. I think this makes Jund good again.
I mean, the obvious thing with this is like, oh, there's a Titan in your graveyard, and you have an Urza Saga also in the graveyard. Oh, and they also popped one of your Amulet of Vigors. Okay,
Oh
cool.
yeah.
Here's my Titan for 4 mana.
Here's my Titan
Because
for
remember,
4
this card
mana.
doesn't tap to activate its ability,
That's right. It does not.
so it's a Titan for 4 mana.
And you can give it haste quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
I think this is like I think this is going to see play in a lot of things. I think you're going to see it in Yawgmoth. I think you're going to I think you will. Because they already run artifacts. They run the lands. They run instants, sorceries, creatures. They have they will have the delirium.
I disagree,
I
and it's
You disagree?
because what are you copying?
Yawgmoth, the
See, and that's where I'm like, okay, sure, but like also you have Agatha Soul Cauldron for that. Like I know redundancy is great, and I'm sure like as a
yeah,
one of this is fine. Uh,
but it's redundancy in your mana base, which
yeah,
is
like I can
better
definitely
in
see
my
it.
opinion.
It's just like I don't feel like that's that strong. I feel like you want it to cheat things more than anything.
I could yes you wanted to cheat things for sure. I still think it's like maybe a one of in Yawgmoth just as another redundant piece.
Let me read this
Yeah,
until
it
end
becomes
of
a copy
turn.
target permanent until end of turn,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So
I just want to read the ruling on it
yeah,
or like the wording on it. Because like the way it makes it seem is that like you can't activate this in your opponent's end step
no.
and copy
Well,
something.
activate. Yeah, you can.
Well, you can, but I mean like it's not going to stay on the battle. Like if it's a
Oh,
creature, it
end
won't
of
stay
the
on the
turn. End
battlefield.
of turn. End of turn. Yeah.
Yeah. So like you can do like oh
It'd
yeah,
be really
so
dumb.
you could like grizzle
Yeah.
like in the Espergorios list, you could like grizzle brand with this. You can't Atraxa because it's already on the battlefield and that it's not entering. It just becomes a copy. So you can like grizzle brand with this.
Yeah. Yeah. You could Gristle Brand. Um,
But
it's
also
on the battlefield too.
you'd have to change the mana base because they only run like a hedge maze generally, and that's like their only green source.
No, they run the Overgrown Tombs.
Do they?
Yes.
I haven't seen that land base. Also, that
Yawgmoth?
deck has fallen out of favor like considerably. So,
Really? Yawgmoths were falling out of favor?
oh yeah. Well, I also generally just don't have any respect for that deck because it's like,
It's number 2 on the meta list right now.
oh, is it? It feels like it's fallen out of favor.
Yes.
Like I look at,
No.
I must be looking at the wrong thing then because like when I go to
Yeah,
SPG Goldfish to look
they
at
run
like,
they run 2 overgrown tombs.
oh, all right, and then I'm just talking out of my ass.
And the underground mortuary. They run 2 of those. Like,
Oh,
you're
Bill.
fine.
Bill, I'm on TG Goldfish.
30 day or 7 day?
What? 30 day.
What's your you're on the 30 day. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm on
I always do 30
goldfish.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah, Goryo's is at 1.5% of the meta,
Yeah, fuck Warriors.
and the best it's done in a challenge is like 14th on the 26th. So let me look at that one. So that has an overgrown tomb.
I was talking about Yawgmoth, but okay.
Oh, I was talking about Esper Goryo's.
Oh, I didn't. We missed the transition.
We shifted around. I think okay. So in Yogg, I think this can be a one of.
Okay.
And I think as a one of, it's fine. Because
Yeah,
like
I think as a one of, as a
it's
redundancy
not
piece in
hurting your mana base
it's
at
good.
all to play this. I'm
Yep.
saying in Esper Goryo's, they'd have to completely change their mana base in order to fit this in. But
I agree.
I do think there is an upside with specifically Grizzlebrand to play this card.
Yeah, I agree. I'm trying to think. Is there anything here? There's a Gruul aggro deck.
With this?
No, not with this. I just saw it. I didn't understand it.
It's got to be like Gruul prowess.
It is. Yeah.
Focus up here.
Focusing. Let's see here. I'm just trying to see like what other decks we would see where it might be important.
Oh, potentially Jund creativity.
Yeah, I was gonna say Indomitable creativity here.
Yeah. So like that when you have your Archon in grave.
In the graveyard.
Oh no, because it doesn't get haste. No, so I'm wrong.
No, but it's a land that becomes a copy. It becomes a copy. It's already like you don't have to haste it. It's already on the battlefield.
Is that true?
I believe so. I believe because it's on the battlefield, you don't care.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay, so yeah, the haste doesn't matter.
Yeah,
you don't need haste.
Like,
you're right.
Archon would be great to copy.
Archon, yeah. Yeah, and then you could. And Atrax is only ETB, correct?
Yeah, Atraxa is ETB.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I could actually see this going like it turns Esper Goryo's into whatever that 4 color combination is because they add a couple more force to play this. And then that allows them to cheat in like an Atraxa or like cheat an Atraxa onto the battlefield or get a Grizzlebrand onto the battlefield, swing for 7, gain 7, draw 7.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I was incorrect about the haste.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure it gets the haste because like
well, it doesn't need haste,
as long as it's not as long as it's not your like as long as it's not the turn you played the land,
right?
Then it will be because like Mutavault, right? Yeah. But like, who cares, right? Like, say you do play it the same turn, you could just copy Ren and 6 in the creativity list. That is, copy the Ren and 6 or the Teferi or whatever.
Yeah, but copy Teferi. Although it doesn't have any loyalty, so you have to. You can only plus, I believe.
I believe it would have loyalty.
No, because I think it enters the bat. There's some weird rulings with this that I have to think.
I don't know anymore.
I don't think it enters with. I don't think it, and because it doesn't enter as the Planeswalker, because they enter with the loyalty.
But if you needed it even as protection, If you needed it as protect, right? Like each opponent can only cast spells as if they were a sorcery. If you had your thread out for some reason, you needed protection for
But
something.
like they just cast their spell
Yeah,
in response to that activation. Then
right. Which, like, if they're popping a bowmaster for whatever reason that early,
sure, but like if you
it's
have
better.
so
Yeah,
here's the thing: if you have I don't know what so creativity is 4, this is 4. So if you have 8 mana as creativity, you should already be winning the game.
that's true. That's true. What's in Hardened Scales that would benefit from this? How does modular work? Is it when it leaves the battlefield or when it dies?
And this one dies.
Oh, sad.
Yeah, I don't think this works. People are gonna brew with this. This is a brewer's dream.
This is a fantastic card.
Yeah.
Yeah, whenever that permanent dies. Okay. Okay. That's my number one though. I think that's going to be in a lot of stuff, and it's going to make a lot of fun things.
Yeah. I believe I have a final card. It's Harbinger of the Seas. This makes Merfolk tier 1 probably. A Blood Moony effect for a creature strategy. Jesus. Uh,
Yeah,
and then like to pair with it with Flare of Denial and just being like, all right, here's my, you know, here's my lords. Oh, you're gonna kill all my guys? Well, I have a million guys because I just have a million merfolk. So let me Flare of Denial everything you're trying to play. Like I think Flare of Denial goes in over Subtlety for sure. Because Subtlety was like something that they were playing a little bit in the main deck. I think it immediately goes in over that. You
yeah,
can main deck this in Harbinger of the Seas in Merfolk and not be injured in any way, shape, or form. Like the worst that happens is your Cavern of Souls is shut off, but in theory, your Aether Vial is where you need them to be.
yeah,
So yeah, I wouldn't be shocked to see this as just a pure 4 of in that list.
yeah. I can see that. That's going to be that's going to be really good, especially because they have that those Merfolk that give other Merfolk island walk
Yep.
instantly.
Exactly. That's the other reason why. Like it makes everything island, so
Yeah,
therefore all their merfolk get. I think it's Lord of Atlantis or
something like that. Yeah,
yeah. So it's either that or oh god, whatever the other lord is.
the other one.
Yeah, there. I mean, there's two. There's three. There's three lords in the deck. One of them is the one that gives everything like you sacrifice for like force spike.
Yeah,
I can't remember what, but it's not that one, and it's not it's either Lord of Atlantis or not Lord of Atlantis.
it's either or not.
Well, it's Lord of Atlantis or the other Lord, and I can't remember what it's called right now, and I have to look it up. But yeah, I think Merfolk gets way stronger. Uh, I think Merfolk becomes maybe the third best creature deck in the format behind Yogg and Titan. I think Yogg and Titan got a massive boost too. Um, Yogg getting Tower and the new Grist and a
Oh, and
couple other
probably
things.
the Ugin, or the not the Ugin. What's it called? The land that's an ancient tomb, kind of.
I don't know what you're talking about, actually.
There's a land you exile a very big card and you get like
Oh, in
two.
Yogg?
Oh, not Yogg. Sorry, Titan. Maybe. Where is it? Where's this land? Where's this goddamn land? Ugin's Labyrinth.
That's
Imprint.
that's not it.
Uh, you may exile a colorless card with mana value set. Oh, yuck! No, never mind. Gross. Not what I'm thinking. I didn't realize you had to do mana value 7.
Yeah, mana
I
value
thought it was,
7 is the thing with that.
it's going to force people to play bad cards.
Yeah, it's just a Tron card, but like even still, it's just like an Eldrazi Tron card, and that's why I don't think it's like that card is that powerful or that
Yeah,
good.
now you're gonna run two Ulamogs instead of the one.
Right, and it's just like
Yeah,
ugh.
you're just gonna go up one on your big Eldrazi.
Okay, I was wrong. Lord of Atlantis does have Island Walk.
It does. Okay.
Also, Master of the Pearl Trident does have Island Walk as well. Those are the two. Those are the two big ones.
Wow, they have 8 Island Walk
Yeah, they have 8
effects.
Island Walk with a card that gives
Fuck
that
you.
makes every non-basic land an island. Boy, seems good.
Do you think it replaces the what's it called? I forget what it's called, but it's like a one drop from MH2
Tide Shaper?
and you
No,
Tide Shaper. You don't think it replaces Tide
no.
Shaper at all?
Tide Shaper you can play on one still.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Like that deck needs turn one. Like the deck's weakness is actually its lack of turn one plays. Because
I
like your
see.
turn one plays are either Tide Shaper or Aether Vial or you pass.
Hmm.
Like that's the big thing holding Merfolk back. Like it's a mid range creature deck.
Yeah. Okay. I can see that. I can see that, Daniel.
But yeah, I think Merfolk immediately jumps up a couple tiers. I think it becomes one of the better decks in the format. You know,
Hmm.
uh, but its problem is still that it's going to its problem as a Murktide player. Its problem is going to be that I run Stern Scoldings and uh for lightning bolts and unholy heats, which can kill all their stuff. So
Yeah.
now, of course, the bad thing is that I'm only going to have access to islands. Like Harbinger of the Seas actually is good against Murktide, unless Murktide like completely changes his mana base.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we're doing that. I'm pretty sure we're not doing that.
Yeah. Hmm. I don't know who's going to push Merfolk over. I could definitely see like the two that you mentioned, that Flare and whatever, and the other
And
one,
Harbinger,
oh, and Harbinger. Yeah, I can definitely see them be like helping.
I think
Yeah,
Merfolk
I don't
has
know.
always been good. It's just like it needs a little bit of help, and I don't know how its Titan matchup is. Although I feel like with subtlety plus the one that gives them the Lord plus the four spikes on a stick, I think that helped a little bit. But like
Hmm.
Harbinger, Harbinger like completely shifts the Titan matchup because like Titan was playing red cards in the sideboard for Blood Moon, and now are they going to play blue cards in the sideboard for Harbinger? Like you have to now pick. Like it, I think it makes Blood
Yeah,
Moon effect. I think it makes Blood Moon for Murktide better, and I think it makes like just consequently because of how people have to think about their mana bases now.
yeah. All right, I can see that. Yeah, yeah. Like even when you first started talking about it, I was like, oh man, now like Scam's gonna have to start running some basic mountains.
Probably one because like
Yeah.
what are you double pipping?
I don't think there's a double pip, but yeah,
Yeah,
there's.
there's no double pip red cards. There's double pip black cards. Like you should definitely have you know you should probably be getting swamps first and then get the mountain
Yeah,
because like you still want to be able to hard cast Dothy, Grief, Shieldred.
yeah. It would be nice to cast Fable too.
Yeah, oh yeah, but like you're kind of
Yeah.
there. You're kind of like banking on Ragavan to exist, and Ragavan is bad into opposing creature decks.
Yeah, terrible.
Like it's horrendous. Like that's the first card you fucking cut in that matchup.
Hell yeah. First card you cut. Hell
Oh,
yeah.
just it's not even a question. It's immediate. Not like immediate just happens. You cut that card because like it doesn't beat Young Wolf. It doesn't beat really anything in Yawgmoth. Like the second they go like, oh, you have a Ragavan? Okay, here's a Wall of Roots. You're like, well, shit. Or like, they play Beautiful on turn 1, and then you go Ragavan, and they go, okay, second land. And you're like, well, although I think in that case, you're like, are you going to trade your land for my creature? You know?
Yeah.
And if they do that, I'm kind of good with like 1 mana Stone Raining them, but that's like an outside pocket thing that happens.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Modern is going to be interesting. I don't think it's going to categorically change. I think, of course, like the rise of Eldrazi Tron is going to be a thing with all the big Eldrazi. I just think in general, Tron is just going to be better because they have more versatility in like the high end cards that they can play. It's just
Mm-hmm.
I don't outside of Null Elemental Blast, which I don't think fixes many of their matchups because it has to be multicolored, correct?
Yes. Yeah. It's not a monocolor. It's a
Like
multicolor.
what that does that doesn't fix Omnath really? Like I guess it could. Like you could be
It
like,
hits.
oh,
It
I
hits
counter your Ren
Omnath.
6. Oh, I counter your Omnath. Oh, I counter your Teferi. So like, yeah, but like, do they have a bad time against that? Because I feel like they generally just eat control matchups.
Yeah.
So like what exactly does Null Elemental Blast fix? I don't know.
Null elementals might just be for limited.
Yeah, it could just be for limited. Who knows? But
Yeah.
I mean, having an Elemental Blast in Modern is wild. And if I'm wrong about it, I'm wrong about it, but like, there
Yeah.
let me take a look here just really quickly.
So it hits a lot of like the scam removal stuff in the sideboard. Actually, a lot of the scam removal in general.
Null Elemental Blast. Counter target multicolored spell, destroy target multicolored permanent. So yeah, scam a lot of the removal suite that actually can hit Tron cards. Because Fatal Push, Lightning Bolt don't really do a lot. It hits Terminate, Kolagon's
Yeah.
Command, Molten Collapse, Angrath's Rampage.
The consumes all Hitzaku to do
Yep.
consumes all or whatever. Yeah.
Yogg, it hits Grist. It
Yeah.
hits and Halpatra, which seems terrible to even consider.
Well, I hate Hepatra, but
I guess it would hit Fulminator Mage, which is like the one card you're probably worried about most in the Ogmoth matchup.
yeah.
Domain Zoo, it hits the Leyline. Have you seen any Domain Zoo recently?
No, you know what I've seen recently that's weird? Elves.
That's interesting. Like I know you're getting some elves, but like
I've played against 2 elf decks in the past week.
no, I mean like in MH3 you're getting some elves.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
Yeah, Null Elemental
Like
Blast hits Kavu, Leyline, and then out of the side Wear Tear. But that's about it. So like even there, that's not great.
if they have Leyline, the Leyline
If they
play,
have
they hit
Leyline Scion,
everything.
like it's good for that. It doesn't hit much in Titan, if anything. Teamer Prowess, it'll hit like EI and Questing Druid and a hard cast Gigantha. Creativity, it'll hit some stuff. So like it's a sideboard card at least. But like I just in general am kind of fading that Null Elemental Blast. But 1 mana counter target, like 1 mana counter target spell with no follow. Like obviously there's like the multicolored in there, still really good. 1 mana destroy target permanent, still really good.
Yep. The Leyline of the Guild Pack, that's one-sided, I believe, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's not that spicy where like you could play a Guild Pack and then fuck them over.
But it does turn all of their permanents to be multicolored, so you can just go.
Oh, you could hit a land, right? It doesn't say
shit. Instead of
It doesn't say
sniping the guild
non-land?
pack, you can just start sniping it. And of course, if like Scion's out, you're kind of like, oof.
Yeah, but wait, hold on. Leyline. Oh my god, I can't spell. I'm just gonna click into the thing. Each non-land permanent you control. Oh, non-land permanent is all colors.
Yeah,
Okay,
you can't 1 mana Stone Rain. That'd be insane.
that'd be hilarious.
That'd be
I'd
crazy.
love it. I'd love it.
But yeah, the big risers are Merfolk, Eldrazi, Tron, or in general Tron. And then I'm sure there's going to be stuff that comes out that I'm not thinking of because I'm not a brewer. I'm just a guy that you know lets
As
people
a show.
build decks for him and then he plays them.
Yeah. Yeah, I do have an archetype that I am doing a I wasn't impressed by any of the cards that came out, but all the new MFDs, MF
MDFCs.
multi-face dual, yeah, the MFDFC, yeah, those. The Belcher decks, I think, just got like
That
hilariously
got buffed too.
cheaper.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. There's so many more options, and they all come in unfucking tapped.
There's some that do come in untapped.
Well,
There's some that don't.
correct, yes, but they like significantly increase the number that come in untapped.
Yeah, which like that's something that deck really needed because it runs like some garbage fucking MDFCs because it has
Oh,
to.
it's terrible. Yeah,
So like giving it better MDFCs, I think I think you could see a rise in that. I'd have to actually look at like what comes in, what's coming out to say like, oh, this deck
yeah,
is better, but generally that deck is still relatively frail unless they're running both Belcher plus Balustrade Spy.
yeah. No,
Uh,
I agree. That's happening. Like, I agree, but at the same, like, it's just
it's still a cheesy deck, and you still have to
it's gonna
respect
be
it to some
funny.
degree. But I just don't
Yeah,
think it's that terrifying. Of course, I say that
it's
as
not
the counterspell
terrifying.
guy or the guy with
Yeah, it's
counterspells
not or tide binders.
or Tidebinders. Yeah, yeah.
That just
Pay
just
3 mana, activate Belcher Tidebinder.
tide binder. Goodbye, Belcher. Now you have to find another one to put in play.
Yeah, I was like, okay, can you hit the
Yeah.
spy? Oh, that's cool. Subtlety the spy.
Oh no. Yeah. Again, like it's an honorable mention just because they're getting so many more non-land lands.
Yeah, losers. If you were to believe the Murktide Discord, Murktide, like,
I don't think Murktide's losing or really gaining
what,
much.
like, it's the fact that they didn't gain anything, and like, Scam gets a marginal upgrade in Phyrexian Tower. Same with Yogg.
I don't think
Titan
it,
gets a
I yeah.
marginal upgrade.
I don't think Scam's going to be like that great. Like
No.
the it's going to have to be a specific scenario
Yep.
for Scam to work. Like
Oh, I agree.
it's not that great.
Yeah, it's just like there's some serious fatalists there. They're like, oh, what deck am I going to play instead of Murktide? And it's like, bro, just fucking wait 2 weeks to the meta to get figured out, and then you can play Murktide. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm going to play Scam week 1, like for sure, playing week 1 Scam. But
Oh
like
hell
after
yeah.
that,
I mean, I have Scam built. I'm not
yeah,
going to invest in the sideboard, but
yeah, I'm playing week 1 Scam because like,
let me
you
see
know,
what you got in your hand.
yeah, let me
What
see. Oh,
spice you got there?
let me see them cards. Ah, you're
Let
running
me
that piece
see
of
them
shit.
cards. That piece of shit. Oh my god! But yeah, that was my honorable mention. Do you have any other honorable
No,
mentions?
you named a lot of the good cards. There's a lot of good commander cards. I guess I don't want to talk about
Yeah,
those. There's the
commander
energy cards.
cards.
People want like that. Oh god, what's the 1 mana draw card and then get 2 energy, and then there's
Yeah,
oh god, what are these fucking cards? I have to scroll. I'm scrolling to try to find these energy cards because it's just like, what are we talking about with
I
this?
don't know why they're bringing these in except for Commander. Like
For energy?
that's the only reason they're bringing the energy in, right?
No, they're trying to. I think they're actually trying to give energy real support. It's just like energies hasn't been printed in like 5 years or something like that, or maybe even more. I don't know.
Well, it would have been in Kaladesh, right?
That
I think that's when
sounds
energy came
right.
in. I think that's when it came in.
Yeah, I see people even being like, "Oh, do we run an energy build now with
Why?
Am I crazy? Am I just not seeing it? There's like an energy style lightning bolt, but it only targets creatures and planeswalkers, and it's like, we sure about this, guys? You know,
Yeah.
let me see if I can find it. Sorry, I'm just like, it's just not like Scryfall's fucking me right now. All right. Ooh. Also, I want to see the time shifts for MH2. Modern Horizons 3. Okay. Search. Oh, then I want.
There's a
What?
lot of good time shifts from the
Yeah, I'm gonna look through those
MH2.
because like I know DRC got one. Like,
DRC got one. Ragavan got a paper one. Ragavan was time shifted on MTGO,
oh,
but
we got
not
dressed down
paper.
too. Oh my god.
Yeah, like the entire Murktide deck got like.
Oh, fucking Esper Sentinel got one too. That's cool. Even though Esper
Mm-hmm.
Sentinel got hard pushed out of the format. Flusterstorm, Fury,
It's
bring
still
back Fury.
expensive. I think it's like $40 still.
Oh, okay.
Esper
So
Sentinel.
Galvanic Discharge. Choose target creature or planeswalker. You get 3 energy. Then you may pay any amount of energy. Galvanic Discharge deals that much damage to that permanent. So like you run like a more energy focused build that gives you a
Yeah,
little bit of energy, and then you like just start doming creatures and planeswalkers. I don't think it's very good. I think it's fine at
yeah.
best.
I
But
don't think it's good at all, dude.
like the thing is like people can't interact with energy really. Like there's not really a way to interact with the energy you've gained.
Yes, there is. There's proliferate. You
I guess
could
that's true.
you could
Oh yeah, the
proliferate it.
Yawgmoth
You
player.
could.
Like, come on, discard that card. Give me some energy, please.
Yeah, buddy. Give me that energies.
But yeah. Yeah, I don't have too much. Oh, elves are getting Priest of Titania.
Yeah, that's the big one. I've been seeing a lot of people like fucking with elves, and it's annoying right now. I'm
Just
like,
run more
I'm not
lightning bolts.
prepared. I'm not prepared for these elves.
Just run more lightning bolts.
No, we should just burn the elves. Also, another thing is the we're getting the other fetches. That's like
Yeah, but like we have
that's a
those. It's
thing.
just like we're getting them
We're getting them
reprinted.
reprinted. That's like I'm excited for the reprint
Sure.
because it'll make them affordable for me now.
Ooh, do I play this Unholy Heat over the RCQ ones?
Hell no! I love the RCQ
I
ones.
have to get I have to get DRC, Endurance, Grief, Fury, Ragavan, Subtlety.
You're gonna be spending so much money.
Yeah, but at least it'll be on singles. Like, let me look here. The Subtlety is already not listed as anything. Oh, is it this one? No, doesn't say. Doesn't have a preloaded price, but I want these. So if you people get some retro frame MH3 cards, please hit me up because I want them. Give me them.
Hell yeah! Get them things. Anyways,
That's it. I have
Dan,
nothing
I
else.
think that brings us to the end of the show. We're at the end. We went over on time by a
It's
lot because spoilers for the main format we play. But with that, I'm going to say keep calm, spike on, and leave us a comment. Subscribe, do the thing. I'm tired.